Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got videos today from Poor Man's Podcast.
I don't personally like to date any girl that had a whorish past.
Men can't say like that. I'm happy you said it. Look, you know what gets me right? They talk about the past don't matter.
Yes,
right?
they
But
do.
look, sexual history is the only thing that they will say don't matter about the past. Everything else, like we celebrate people every day for they did in the past. Joe Biden just had the Celtics. They won that championship 4 months ago. Why we give a if the past just don't matter? You treat people well because of shit they did in the past. You treat people bad because of shit they did in the past. I want to know why you touched all them niggas.
Yeah, how many does matter. But if I had to scale it, the history matters more for me if the that you chose to.
There's never going to be a that was acceptable.
Okay,
right?
I can feel that.
So I'm never going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you I get it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, not who the nigga was.
It's definitely
going to
be some like, it's going to be some you f***ing him. No, you got to get away from me.
You was just fucking just one night stands and that's why you got 10? No.
I'm good.
But if you was fucking and you was in long-term relationships and you got a smooth 5, okay.
That sounds fair.
You're 5 and 10. Like I don't like. You think those are like realistic numbers?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm like
realistic numbers would be like 2 or 3. If they've been in 2, depending on how old you are. Like someone in their 30s, they've had 2 or 3 relationships and only been with 2 or 3 people. Fair. I don't think it's no man is really going to be that upset about that, right? But most women have 20, 30, 40 before they're 30. And just by those sheer numbers alone, they weren't long-term relationships. That's damn sure.
Well, they are for me. I've only been with 3 people. I'm 27.
That's
Shout
great.
out to you.
It's fair.
That's great.
It's fair.
How do they know that you did that?
Well, since it's all over the internet.
So that was my question.
Yeah.
So it's all over the internet,
Yeah.
not all over OnlyFans, but also on other platforms?
Yeah, like
Other websites?
on Google, everywhere. It's everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do anything. Like, I have people that try to take it down, but there's just so much of it that you can't get rid of all of it.
Were you raised with a religious background or anything like that?
My family was Catholic, but they didn't do anything that Catholics. They were alcoholics. They all do terrible things.
So it really wasn't a religious
thing
for you. It was really just the shame of doing something that you didn't feel good about.
And everyone just knowing. Like, when I came up here, even when I went to college, everyone knew. Everyone finds out. Even to this day, I thought this. I'm 22 now. I thought this when I was 20 years old. And it's still following me to this day. Anywhere I go, everyone will always find out, no matter what. Like, there's not a single person that I meet that doesn't find out somehow. They're like cool at the beginning and they like me and I have friends, and then as soon as they find out, they're like,
Is this because you're on OnlyFans or because people take your videos or photos from OnlyFans and they'll post them somewhere else?
I think they just judge me off the fact that I did that.
No, but how do they know that you did that?
Well,
I mean, it sucks, but this happens to me. I told you guys I went to jail for the double murder thing, or if you actually Google my real name, like my first name and last name, like the third thing that comes up in that Google search is the article about, gas station owner booked for 2 double murders and things like that. Like, that's all you can see in it, because after to click onto that article, there's a paywall. So all you see is kind of like this horrible image of me about trying to murder or murdering people or something, and you actually can't even read the full article, so you can't even read what truly happened. So people just assume I'm some horrible murderer. Like, that is literally been the case for, I think, 3 or 4 women now. They Google my name. They'll Google my name and they'll do a search on my name and they'll come back to me and it's like, did you murder people? And I'm just like, this again. And I've even had the news article or the whatever newspaper that owns that article to remove it, but they still haven't removed it. They said they would because it's kind of defamation. It makes me look really bad. Just the way the article is set up and the way that the things that they're only showing in the article. To read the rest of the article, you have to pay like $5 a month or something like that to be in their thing. So because of that, they were very okay with removing it. But even now, I think it's still the third or fourth thing if you Google my name. And that's the past, right? Like, not that I'm saying what I did was a great thing or anything. No, your past matters. Everything that your past does, especially nowadays where everything is almost digitally logged, right? Everything, all the posts you do, all the pictures that other people have posted of you and things like that, it can all easily get tracked to you, right? So being able to Google people's name is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, tell you the truth.
Since it's all over the internet.
So that was my question.
Yeah.
So it's all over the internet,
Yeah.
not all over OnlyFans, but also on other platforms?
Yeah, like
Other websites?
on Google, everywhere. It's everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear an update about my matchmaker date from last week? I got ghosted.
Oh no.
From a matchmaker?
So again, most amazing first date I've been on in years. I haven't dated. Why am I fucking
It's funny that women are like, oh, it's just the most amazing date to you. To you. It might not have been that great for him.
tell you guys. So we had that amazing date last week. He even said it was an amazing date. Like, we both agreed. He told, like, our matchmaker it was an amazing date. I said the same thing. Well, then, like, as of last Saturday, I haven't heard from him. And I was like, hey, like, if you have, like, a change of heart, like, no big deal, but can you just, like, tell me what changed or something? Nothing. Well, my matchmaker calls me yesterday, and she's like, hey, I just want to give you, like, a little bit of feedback from what happened with your date last week. And I was like, I'd love some clarity. She's like, he Googled you. And I was like, yeah, I kind of figured. Because, like, what pops up is, like, my biggest videos. My biggest videos are back when I was, like, in a wildly hurt place.
Yep, digital footprint coming back to haunt people.
True.
And I looked into some of the stuff that she's talking about. She's super popular on TikTok, and she got popular because she was a bartender out in Denver. And so she would do these little story times that would be 5-6 minutes long, and she would be talking about having hookups with random strangers. She'd be talking about going out to parties. She'd be talking about getting absolutely wasted. So there are guys out there that hold themselves to a certain standard, and those guys, even with the Google search, can find out what you're actually about and what you have been about. And I can't blame those guys for caring about these things, because I'm gonna be honest here. Most men aren't cucks. I know that sounds crazy.
That's again, I 100% with poor man on this one. You can't blame them, right? You can't. That's why I don't blame the women for Googling my name. We're like, oh, you Google my name, they see some horrible things with mine attached to my name. I just try to explain it. If they understand, they understand. If they don't, they don't. Like, that's the only thing you can do. It's nothing that you can really truly hide from, though.
Most men don't want to see your OF account. Most men don't want to see the woman that they're courting and investing in, and the woman who will potentially become the mother of their children. They don't want to see your OF account, and it don't even got to go as far as OF. If you have bad representation online because you put yourself out there, guys who have or who hold themselves to a certain standard and have a reputation to protect and are willing to invest in the woman that they're going to be with are going to look at that, because any good investor researches his investment. And men who are more on that side of things in terms of influential, they want to protect their image, and rightfully so. I actually seen an interview of a guy who does these AI searches for like companies to find out people's background information, and he was saying that's the reason why a lot of people are applying for jobs and they're not getting callbacks. They don't understand that it's because of their digital footprint. And he said specifically that this is,
I'm sure that's a good chunk of why a lot of women are not getting hired. Like, men and women, but a lot of women, because women just post so much more things to be able to be used against themselves.
growing in the private sector. He's having more and more calls of men who are influential, who have things to lose, they have a reputation to protect, and they're courting these women, and then they go to a guy like him, and he researches their background, and he finds stuff that the guy don't want to see, and the guys end up leaving these women. So this is something that a lot of people, not even just women, when it comes to careers, when it comes to relationships, are going to have to deal with in the future. Your digital footprint matters. And so what you put out there matters. It's a representation of yourself. If I go on your Instagram and I only see buns, don't be surprised when the guys in your DMs are only looking at you for your buns, because that's what you're advertising. I don't go to Burger King for tacos. I go to Burger King for a burger, because that's
I go to meet the king.
what they advertise. So if you want people to look at you for your personality, maybe you need to be posting your hobbies. Maybe you need to be posting your family, because if men go on there and see buns, they're going to come to you for what you're advertising for. And so in my opinion, it's fair. If that's the kind of stuff that you're putting out there, then that's what people are going to see you represented as.
And I was just acting so reckless. And I know what all the misogynistic men are going to write in my comments like, well, that's why you shouldn't be a drug slut on the internet.
Here I am, right?
I know.
Misogynistic.
I get it. I know. And like, again, I'm not blaming anybody but myself. I do have to say that, like, it kind of did take like the wind out of my sails like a little bit.
So if you're blaming yourself, is it really a misogynistic male take to say that that's why you shouldn't be a drunk girl on the internet?
I'm going to have to live with like what I did forever, because I did post it and I understand like the internet is forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, at least, I didn't even post it myself. It's just the incident happened, and then the news feed, or the newspaper company or whatever, wrote the article, and it was such a big article that when you Google my name, it's what comes up. It's not like I want it to come up.
I don't know. Like, and again, here I am crying, being like, oh my God, after one date, I got ghosted. But it wasn't like one date. It was like, I don't date, period. And I put myself out there, and I'm also just so wildly embarrassed, and I feel so much like shame.
You should. Shame is a wonderful thing. It really is.
Why am I even putting this on the internet? I feel like as I try and date going forward, this is something I am gonna have to live with. It's
yeah, it is.
Oh, it's okay. Somebody's gonna have to love every part of me. I know that, and they're gonna have to love like even the bad parts when I wasn't doing so hot. But
yeah, the men who are trying to invest in you and are trying to court you are gonna have to listen to you talk about sleeping with random men who did not have to invest in you or not have to court you. And sure, there are a lot of ladies that have a past, but it's one thing to have a past. It's an entirely different thing for a man that's courting you to be able to hear from your mouth about your past. And so with this digital footprint of you talking about your sexual escapades, you're gonna be limited to a certain type of guy that wants to be with a woman like that.
Yep.
God, it just kind of sucks, and I just feel so...
There's actually a decent amount of men out there that would be okay with a woman like this, tell you the truth. It's just, they're just not the top tier men.
Embarrassed. I feel like actually pretty shameful. And it's not shameful because of like how I acted. It's just like shameful the fact that like the average person can have like their past just be their past, and I put my entire life online.
Yeah.
When you do that, like, you have to be willing to have everybody see every part of your life. I don't know. Anyways, happy Halloween. I'm gonna go with the sad loser.
So yeah, a lot of people sign up to put their lives online and do these story times and things like that because they want the money, the potential fame, the notoriety, all of the good things that come with that line of work or being that open and telling people that much about your life, but they don't want the negative consequences that come with it too. And here's another...
Like, even if you did tell about your life and it wasn't bad or anything, people still don't like it because now you're going to probably most likely tell stories about me. Tell stories about us and our relationship and the things that I do or don't do. That's all going to get plastered on the internet too. That's the other side of where men are like, okay, I might be okay with you doing some of that, even if it wasn't OnlyFans or whatever it is. But because of how much videos you post and just all the things you talk about constantly, why would I want to be the center of attention through all your videos?
Another thing, if you're a woman and you're doing these types of story times on social media, oversharing about your personal life and building these parasocial relationships with people who give you bad relationship advice because they actually don't know you or care about you, The biggest issue with this, and I had MTR, who's another content creator on YouTube, talk about this too. He said he'd never date a woman who's a content creator because he knows that if he had any issues in their relationships or if they went through anything in their relationship, the first thing she would do is take it to social media. And when you're
True.
a person that has a reputation to protect, that's something you have to really consider before dealing with a woman. There are entire industries and endeavors that men are in where your reputation is your business. How people view you will determine the amount of business that you will get. And if your woman is a representation of you and she out here just doing anything, that's going to reflect bad on you and it's going to be bad for your business. So yeah, reputation matters, digital footprint matters, and this is something that a lot of people are going to start to realize over the next 5 years, especially as this technology to track this type of stuff is getting better and better, and more companies and people are using it. And they feel the need to use it because they realize that there are so many crazies out there that you have to have some way to protect yourself. And the best way to protect yourself from crazy is looking at a person's past and seeing if they're crazy.
The digital footprint thing is huge. Again, I faced that consequence too. And that's not like I did something bad and I posted it myself. No, something bad happened. And, you know, an article got written about it and that article kind of blew up. And now my name is attached to that article. So every time someone Googles my real name, like I have to go Google both my names, like my first and last name. And that article will always come up. Like I've even had you guys even message me saying that, oh, this article is still up about you. You know, because some of you guys have like found my real name and stuff and then Googled it and it said, then told me, oh, that article's still there. I'm like, I know, I can't seem to get rid of it. And it's whatever, you know, like it's part of my past. It's part of, you know, me. So I can't like deny it or anything. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.